Hey everyone, my name is Mars, like the planet, and this is Housewarming. Me and my partner have just purchased our very first home, so if you're interested in design, homemaking, and figuring it all out, make sure you subscribe. So today I have a couple of plants in front of me that I'm going to be repotting, but as you can tell by the title of this video, my birthday is actually coming up next month in April, so I'd figure it would be a really great video to talk about what are some really good plants and not so good plants to give as a birthday present. So before we get into it, I found these two beautiful houseplants on sale at my local nursery. This is an umbrella plant or a Schefflera. I got it for 50% off. Next, I have a Monstera that I picked up that was 70% off, so I could not pass it up. Now, while these look a little sad, you can see it has a couple of yellow leaves. I'm gonna pop them up and kind of rescue them a little bit. So while I am repotting, let's just get into good houseplants to give for a birthday gift. So if you have someone whose birthday is coming up, please make sure that they actually have the capacity to take care of a plant. You do not want to go through all of the time and the effort to buy them a house plant and then they can't even take care of it, or they don't have the correct light requirements that your plant requires. Hopefully the list that I give you is going to be good for any type of plant owner, whether they're a beginner or they're a veteran. So first of all, I just want to give you a couple of things to remember. Like I said, you want to remember to ask them first, like, is a house plant something you can take care of? So when you are shopping, whether you go to a big box store like Home Depot or Lowe's, or you go to your local nursery or garden center, remember to ask for help. If you're just not sure what to get, remember to ask for help. Also, make sure you have photos of what you're looking for. Remember that a lot of plants are mislabeled. You can see, like, for example, this one doesn't really even have a tag. I just knew that it was a Monstera just by looking at it, but sometimes things can get put in the wrong pots with the wrong labels. Hopefully, if you're going to a good garden center, they're all labeled correctly, but just have a picture of what you're looking for, just in case maybe you're trying to ask the worker for help, you don't know the name of something, you can always show them a picture and they should be able to help you. If a plant looks unhealthy, if it has yellow leaves, kind of like this one, do not give that as a gift. You want to make sure you're giving your birthday person the best possible chance of keeping this plant alive. You don't want to have something that has bugs on it or looks really dead or decrepit or anything like that. Just leave those alone. I promise you somebody like me is going to come and pick them up. When you are gifting a houseplant as a birthday gift, remember that you don't have to break the bank. A lot of people, their budget might be $10 for a plant. Some people's budget might be $50 for a plant, but there's always going to be a price range out there. Do your research before you go out there and don't really feel like you have to spend $50 on a plant if that's not in your budget. There's always smaller sizes and plants within your price range that you definitely can buy, and I have a few on this list. Remember when you're at the plant store that different plants have different names. Some go by their common name, some go by their scientific name. For example, this is a Monstera, but sometimes it is called a Philodendron, sometimes it's called a split leaf Philodendron. So for example, a snake plant is called a snake plant, it's called a Sanseveria, it's also called a mother-in-law's tongue. So make sure when you're going out to buy a plant that you're always familiar with all of the names that it could be listed under, and you also know what you're looking for by having those photos that I mentioned in the beginning. And lastly, if all else fails and the plant dies, remember to tell the person it is okay. And honestly, if you still want to get them a plant, but you know they can't take care of it, you can always get them a fake plant. So let's start repotting. So I have my dining room table just covered, honestly, with a shower curtain to protect it. So first, let's plant this umbrella plant or a Schefflera. Now I already have one of these in my care, but I could not pass this one up. It has these beautiful leaves. They are shaped almost like a little umbrella. So I have right here already the pot I am going to put it in, ready to go. This is just some regular potting mix that I picked up from Home Depot. You want to make sure that when you are repotting houseplants to always get potting mix, not potting soil. I know sometimes when you see potting, it can be a little bit confusing, but you always want to make sure it has potting mix written on it. And it should say that it's for plants that go in pots and not in the ground. So I picked up this gallon-sized container. It is nothing special. It is plastic. I got it also at Home Depot. And you can see that I am bumping it up to a pretty large pot, but that is only because Scheffleras get quite big and I don't want to have to repot this. So, and you can also see that it is growing a little bit out the bottom. It is definitely ready to come out of this pot. Before I started this video, I went ahead and watered both of my plants, but I'm just going to get in there with my hands. I'm going to make a little well. I'm just going to push the dirt on the sides, just like this. I have a nice little hole. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the plant out, just kind of press the sides and shimmy it on out of there. And you can see how the roots look. It is very healthy. Here's the tag right here. It says Schefflera arboricola right here. So that way I know what type of plant this is. And you can also include this when you are gifting a plant. You want to make sure that you are including care instructions, including what type of light it might need, what kind of water it might need, and the name of the plant so they can look it up later if they want more information. Now, Scheffleras do go through a bit of a stress period when they are moved from a different location. So you can see this one has some yellowing on its leaves, but that is okay. They will rebound. This needs to be a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to snuggle it right in there. And then I'm going to pack that soil around it so there are no air pockets. And just like that, it is perfectly repotted. The next plant I am going to do is the Monstera. Monsteras are great plants, and spoiler alert, this one is actually on my list of things that you can gift for a birthday present. So this one is a little bit bigger, but I'm still gonna put it in the same gallon size pot that I had the Schefflera in. I'm just going to wiggle it out. Now this one has a few more dead leaves, and I am going to trim them at the end of this video. Ooh, look how root bound this one is. Oh wow, see how root bound that is? So I'm just going to go ahead, and you can see why I decided to put the shower curtain down on my table, because we have a little bit of dirt everywhere, but I might need a little bit of room. I'm just taking my hands and scooping it out. There's no harm in getting dirt on your hands. You can always just wipe it off. I think this is a good fit. Just going to squeeze it in there and just pack that soil around. And this one is done. I think I might need a little bit of soil to put on top, but I'm going to wash my hands and then we're going to go ahead and get into the list. Okay, so let's get into this list. So first of all, when you are gifting someone a plant, you really want to give them the easiest plant that they could take care of. So these 4 plants you cannot go wrong with. They are the quintessential house plants. You normally can find them everywhere. You can find them in a smaller size as well as a bigger size. So depending on how much space your birthday person has, these will work well. So they are number 1, a snake plant, number 2, a ZZ plant, then number 3 is a pothos, and lastly for easy plants that you cannot go wrong with is a philodendron. And these plants you can find at Walmart, you can find at your local nursery. They also come in a ton of different varieties and they are super easy to take care for. You just want to make sure that you are not overwatering them, because snake plants and ZZ plants really don't need a lot of water and they can thrive in any type of lighting situation. So if your birthday person has a little bit more space to spare, you want to get them a bigger house plant, you definitely can. First on the list, like I said, is the Monstera plant. These start off small but can get very, very big. I actually have a bigger one in my care that I found at Home Depot, and it grows and grows and grows. You just make sure you have to give it a little bit more light than a northern facing window. You want to make sure that your birthday person has at least a southeast or west facing window, and your Monstera plant will definitely do great as a great birthday gift. The next one is a peace lily. These are also great big house plants. Number 3 on the list is a rubber tree. And then number 4 is the one we also just planted, is a Schefflera. Now you might be looking at this and wondering, like, this looks puny. This is not a big houseplant, but these definitely get really tall and really big. And since they're so skinny, they can definitely fit into a nice little corner. Once again, these plants do not require a lot of care. You just want to make sure you have them on a regular watering schedule, as well as putting them in front of a bright window. So the next plants on my list are plants that you may not be able to find everywhere, but if you do, they are definitely worth your while as getting a birthday present. So 5 low maintenance houseplants that I swear by that are perfect for gifting are number 1, an Arrowhead plant or a Syngonium. They're sometimes called butterfly plants. Number 2 is a Chinese evergreen or an Agolenema. These come in a ton of different colors. So if you have your birthday person's favorite color, you can definitely try to match the two because they do come in a variety of colors. Number 3 is a Swiss cheese vine or a Monstera Adasonii, not to be confused with this Monstera deliciosa, but a Monstera Adasonii. I have one upstairs that I absolutely love. Number 4 are succulents. They come in so many cute little different pots. They come from really small to really big. So succulents you can always find everywhere, but I do think you want to make sure to let the person know that if you have rocks like glued onto the top, I don't know why people decide to do this, but if you have rocks glued on, make sure you take that out. That is not going to help the plant at all. And if you want to water it, water is not going to get into that if you just have the rocks glued on the top. The last one on my list is a Chinese money plant or a Pilea. Now, I do not see these often, but if you do find them at your local garden center, make sure to pick it up because they are also called a friendship plant. Pileas grow little tiny pups that you can pop off and pot off and give to your friends. So I think that would be a great and cute birthday present to give. Now, before I get into the list of plants that you should definitely steer clear from, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I just hit 1,000 subscribers and my channel just got monetized, which I'm super happy about. So if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a like or a thumbs up, and make sure you comment down below what other plant videos that you would like to see me do or other plants that you would like me to talk about. Now let's get into the list of plants that I would definitely steer clear from. So those are all of the plants on my list, and you don't have to worry about writing them down. I already have them written in the description box below, but those are plants that I think are super easy to find. They're not expensive and they do not require a lot of maintenance. Just make sure you let the person know what the plant is, what the water care is, and what type of light it needs, and I think it would make the best present for anybody in your life. Now, these are plants that you want to steer clear of. I know a lot of plants that you may see are very beautiful and you want to buy them, but you don't want to set your birthday person up for failure. I have tried these plants and they are just not good. And they require a higher level of care. So if your person has no idea how to take care of houseplants, I really would just steer clear of these. So number 1 on my list is a fiddle leaf fig. I know you see these plants everywhere. You think they're beautiful. They're super popular. They're all over Instagram. Don't get them. I have one and I'm honestly too afraid to touch it because I think it's gonna die. They just die so easily when you move them around, and I really don't think you should, and I really don't think they're worth the money if the person is really inexperienced with houseplants. Number 2 and 3 on my list of plants that you should not gift are a Calathea as well as a prayer plant. Now, these plants are absolutely beautiful. Their leaves are so beautiful. They come in so many different colors. Don't buy them. They require a lot of care and a lot of humidity, and you really don't want to give that to someone when you think you're giving them this beautiful houseplant and then in a month it's going to be dead. Number 4 on my list is an alocasia. I just got rid of my alocasia. It went from having 3 leaves to 7 leaves, then it went into dormancy, then it lost all its leaves. They're not worth the money and they're not worth the hassle. Also on my list of plants that you shouldn't gift, number 5 is a fern. These plants I honestly think just belong outside. I don't know why people give them as houseplants. They require, once again, a lot of humidity just like a Calathea, and you don't want to have your birthday person getting a humidifier just to take care of this plant. And the last one on my list are begonias. Now, begonias come in so many different varieties. They are so beautiful, but they once again are so finicky. They require a lot of care and you really don't want to waste your money on them because the person is not going to be able to take care of them. So with that being said, those are a list of a few house plants that you could gift a person at any point in time. They are super easy to find and you don't have to break the bank trying to find them. I also want to mention too that if you are not able to go out and find a house plant, you can definitely look online. There are a ton of websites that you can order plants from. Just like if you ordered a bouquet of flowers, you can order house plants from these websites and get them shipped directly to that person's address. So that does it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed watching me replant these 2 houseplants. I will definitely keep you updated on them in my next houseplant tour. Once again, these plants will all be listed down below in my description box with the common name as well as the scientific name, so you can be ready to go when you're going to shop for your special someone. I post new videos every single Wednesday. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you did it, tell me in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.